Keith Urban and rising country star Maggie Baugh are sparking major buzz amid his divorce from Nicole Kidman, and the situation has left fans, industry insiders, and the media dissecting every little detail, not just because of his recent lyric changes on stage, but also because of the noticeably charged body language that has been resurfacing from their past collaborations. For many fans, the clips and moments floating around right now feel less like harmless stage banter and more like a window into a bigger story, one that might have been brewing quietly behind the scenes for a while, and it's causing a frenzy of speculation about what's really going on in Keith's personal life and how Maggie fits into it all. It all started to gain momentum with a performance in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay, one of the city's most iconic entertainment venues, where Keith joined Maggie on stage during an April 1st show to perform The Fighter, one of his most famous songs, originally written and performed as a love anthem with his wife, Nicole Kidman, in mind. During that particular performance, however, there was an undeniable spark that left the audience buzzing. Just before belting out the powerful line, "I was born to love you," Keith pointed directly at Maggie, drawing an immediate cheer from the crowd. The moment was playful on the surface, but the pointed gesture carried a weight that was impossible to ignore. It felt intimate, spontaneous, and loaded with meaning, especially given the timing. The audience reaction was a mix of surprise, curiosity, and excitement, as if they had witnessed something unplanned, yet deeply revealing. The chemistry between the two didn't stop there. As the performance continued, Keith doubled down on the energy of the moment. At another point in the song, he turned toward Maggie again, smiled, and tweaked the lyrics in real time, changing them to, "Maggie, I'll be your fighter." It was a small alteration in wording, but the impact was huge, considering that the song itself is rooted in deep devotion and unwavering support, and was once famously sung as a declaration of his love for Nicole. The decision to substitute Maggie's name felt both shocking and telling. The crowd erupted, phones shot up into the air to capture the unexpected moment, and the energy on stage became electric. At the end of the performance, Keith and Maggie hugged it out on stage, an embrace that might have seemed like an innocent show of camaraderie in another context. But under the current spotlight, it's being dissected as possibly much more than that. That wasn't a one-off slip of the tongue or a harmless joke either. Fans soon noticed that the lyric swap wasn't confined to that single performance. In a more recent clip that began circulating, Keith once again altered the words during a rendition of the same song. Originally written as a pledge of protection and partnership directed toward Nicole, Keith once again changed the delivery, this time singing, "When they're trying to get to you, Maggie, I'll be your guitar player." The fact that he repeated the Maggie-specific alteration suggested that it wasn't just a random fluke, but perhaps something intentional, maybe even a signal of how he feels or what's going on in his life privately. The timing of all this couldn't be more significant. Maggie, one of Urban's utility players and a rising star in the country scene, had posted the clip herself on Instagram on Saturday, September 27th. She captioned the moment with a playful but telling line. Did he just say that? That emoji-laden comment only fueled the speculation. Was she just amused by Keith's public shout-out? Or was there a deeper undertone to her post? The timing made it even more intriguing because just shortly after Maggie shared the video, TMZ broke the bombshell news of Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman's marriage breakdown. Once the divorce news hit, the puzzle pieces started to connect for fans, at least in their eyes. The lyric swaps, the body language, the Instagram post, and now the official report of a marital split, it all felt like too much of a coincidence. Social media exploded, with fans of both Nicole and Keith taking sides, offering theories, and in many cases openly accusing Maggie of being more than just a collaborator. Nicole's supporters in particular have been outraged, seeing Maggie as a potential wedge in the marriage and expressing their heartbreak over how public and messy the situation feels. At the same time, some fans are pushing back, saying the chemistry is just performance energy, nothing more, and pointing out that Keith has always been playful with lyrics in live shows. He's known to improvise, to engage with his bandmates and audience, and to inject humor and spontaneity into his sets. To them, this isn't proof of a deeper connection. It's just Keith being Keith, and the timing with his personal life is an unfortunate coincidence. Still, the undeniable fact remains. Keith Urban's lyric changes, combined with his current divorce proceedings, have shaken up the narrative both on and off stage. For someone whose image has long been tied to the stability of his marriage with Nicole Kidman, a relationship that was often held up as one of Hollywood's rare examples of lasting love, the shift is monumental. Their marriage had always been a fascinating blend of Hollywood glamour and down-to-earth authenticity, with Nicole often appearing at Keith's concerts, and Keith writing songs that were widely believed to be inspired by her. That's why this new chapter feels like such a disruption. For fans who followed their love story from the very beginning, it feels like the unraveling of something that was once considered rock solid. Meanwhile, Maggie Baugh's role in all this is equally fascinating. She's a rising country artist with undeniable talent, and her career has been on an upward trajectory thanks in part to opportunities like performing alongside Keith. To suddenly be thrust into the center of a celebrity divorce narrative is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, the attention is giving her massive visibility, with her name trending on social media and her clips getting more views than ever before. On the other hand, the speculation about her connection to Keith could overshadow her artistry, painting her as a homewrecker in the eyes of Nicole's fans, which is a reputation no young artist wants to be saddled with. The media circus around this story is only growing. Tabloids are running side-by-side photos of Keith and Maggie performing, analyzing every glance and gesture, and pairing them with nostalgic throwbacks of Keith and Nicole's happiest moments. Headlines range from sympathetic takes on Nicole's heartbreak to sensational stories implying a budding romance between Keith and Maggie. For fans, the narrative is irresistible. It has all the makings of a classic celebrity drama: love, betrayal, public performances, and cryptic social media posts. Whether or not there's any real romance between Keith and Maggie, the story has already taken on a life of its own. What makes it so compelling is the emotional resonance. Lyrics that once served as love letters to Nicole now sound redirected, and audiences are feeling that shift in real time. Every time Keith sings her name, every hug on stage, every playful look, it's feeding into a narrative that fans can't help but dissect, argue about, and assign meaning to. And as for Keith Urban himself, he hasn't publicly addressed the speculation. That silence is only adding fuel to the fire. If he were to come out and firmly state that the lyric changes are nothing more than stage banter, it might quiet things down. But by saying nothing, he's letting the speculation build. Perhaps intentionally, perhaps unintentionally, but either way, it's creating a storm around him, Nicole. And Maggie. One thing is undeniable. Keith's lyric changes and body language with Maggie Baugh have become symbolic of a much larger story. One that touches on themes of love, loyalty, performance, and the blurry line between personal and public life. Whether it's an innocent spark of stage chemistry or the beginning of something deeper, the effect is the same. Fans are shaken. Emotions are running high. And the story is shaping the way people see not just Keith's career, but also his personal identity as a husband, an artist, and now possibly a man moving on.